I was working for about 10 years in the normal business world. I came out of college and worked at Boston Consulting Group and did the typical thing, and then was in media companies at Time Warner and Viacom. And I went to a .com about 3 weeks before the .com crash. So I've done really bad timing in my career, and that was one of them. And I got married during the kind of 8-10 months of that company and before we shut down. And while we were on the honeymoon, the company went under. And I turned to my new wife, new as in just married, not as in second wife, but my newly betrothed. And I said, you know that richer, poorer vow we took? How do you feel about poorer? Because my company's gone. So I came back with kind of just this open field. I had someone that was paying the rent, and I could say, okay, what do I really want to do? And I was interviewing for strategy jobs, like regular business stuff, and I realized that it wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't making me happy. And I couldn't figure out why, so I just started talking to friends and heard this word sustainability. I knew I wanted to find a way to bring environment into my business work somehow. I was a vegetarian, I was changing light bulbs in our new apartment, but I thought this just can't be enough. This can't be how much needs to be done. So I started reading, and I just started reading some of the kind of classics of environment and sustainability, of business and sustainability when it was really new. There weren't that many people talking about it. And I just turned to my wife and said, this is what I've got to do. I can't go back to a normal business. And so I went back to school, got a degree in environmental management. I had an MBA already, and I was, I think, one of the first people to arrive at Yale for the environment degree and get there with an MBA. Like, I already came from business. And I started working with a professor there, and we wrote the book Green to Gold. It took about 3 years, which was more than I thought it would, and that's the first time I learned what doing a book really feels like, and how long it can be and how intense it can be. And that came out and it did really well, and sold a lot of copies. Companies used it as a platform for thinking about issues. They were fairly basic about it. You know, environment equals good for business. It was a fairly basic story. And then people started paying me for my opinion, which I couldn't believe, and then paying me to speak, and so I made a career out of it. And it's been 15 years. Every year I think I can't continue doing what I'm doing. There's no way this business model will work, and then something else comes up, like this opportunity with Paul, and I get kind of a regenerated new push behind my work, and I keep going.